Hey, welcome back to Rob Chronicles. Wanted to go over my reaction to the supposed stimulus package and basically what was going on with that. So the Senate wanted to send us some individual money to help out through this coronavirus thing, and then the bill included some other things for small business and for corporations to help them get through it as well, so they could keep their employees paid. Heck of an idea, really good idea. Especially, I don't mind getting a check from the government, free. No one passes up free money, I guess. But at the same time, it's kind of my money anyway, because I've worked for it and paid into taxes, and so it's not like a Bernie Sanders type deal. It's a hey, free money, get some of my money back. It's a refund anyway, but it's supposed to help during this time. And so what I didn't understand was, according to the news, okay, and watching the Republicans talk on TV about it, they had a deal. The Senate struck a deal, and it was bipartisan. They were able to do something bipartisan for once, and try to take care of this, help people combat this virus. And all of a sudden, Nancy Pelosi's name gets tossed around, and she gets involved, and everything becomes an epic failure. When are they going to... And they even had one of the guys, Representative Claiborne, the one who endorsed Joe Biden, he basically said, let's try and use this to our advantage to set forth our vision or our agenda. And you knew that was going to be... You knew there was going to be a bunch of crap from there. They tried to put abortion funding in it. That got quickly levied out. They still have a bunch of things, like $25 million or something like that for the Kennedy Center or the Kennedy Foundation. They should be having their own money, the Kennedy Foundation. Why do they need taxpayer money? What does that have to do with coronavirus? What does any of that, the abortion funding, the imposing tax or whatever on the airlines for greenhouse gas emissions, that does nothing to do with coronavirus. None of it has anything to do with virus. Sorry, I'm up late. I didn't sleep very well, so I am kind of tired. But anyway, everything that they put in the bill or tried to put in the bill had nothing to do or has nothing to do with coronavirus. What the hell? And this is what happens when you vote Democrat. And I'm sure the Republicans have tried to do this before in the past, but did they try to do it in the past with other national emergencies, like other pandemics or other things where people are dying? People are literally dying, and they're putting money in for abortion clinics. Come on. What kind of cold-hearted son of a bitch are you? Pardon my language. But, people... I have family that say, oh, well, Donald Trump is this evil person and da-da-da-da, and Republicans are all evil and think about corporations. And you know what? this showed me right here that Republicans, most of the Republicans, and just a small little handful of Democrats really care for their country and their countrymen. And wow, is all I've got to say. Wow. We need different people in Congress for sure. We need different people. We need people that actually give a damn about their communities, their states, their country, and their fellow Americans. And the more we do to try to get those people in Congress, there's pushback. And of course that's normal, that's going to happen. But some of these politicians have been in there for 20, 30, 40 years. And it's like, we need term limits. But how do you get a politician to vote on term limits when that's going to stop them from the benefits, basically, from the benefits of being in office constantly and winning, continuous terms in Congress? You can't. And so you got to find people to vote in there that are willing to go in there and make a difference and pass laws like that and pass legislation like that. So the ones that are in there just for themselves, and I'm sure that they didn't start out that way, they ended up that way, are termed out. And I think it should just be, for Congress. I believe Congress is a 2-year term, or no, Senate is 2-year term. No, Senate is a 4 or 6-year term. I can't remember. So Congress, the House of Representatives, 2. So I would be okay with having a congressman have 3 2-year terms. So that's a total of 6 years. And then Senate, because they're every 6 years or every 4 years, I don't remember exactly which. If it's every 4, then they can have 2 terms. If it's 6, they can have 2 terms. So either way, they can have 2 terms. And maybe even shorten that term so it goes to 2 or 3 years, so they can have 2 terms at 6 to 8 years in office, and then you got to move down the road. So anyway, I just thought it was crazy that these liberals and leftist lunatics, I call them lunatics, in Congress put their nose in things like she doesn't belong anywhere near the Senate. Nancy Pelosi, that's not her thing. That's the senators that have to deal with that. And she tried to do that with the impeachment, where she tried to interject herself in that on the Senate side, and that worked out really well for her. Not. And so, I would have learned my lesson then, instead of, continuing to bash one's head against the wall and getting the same result. In fact, that's the definition of insane, is to do something so many times expecting a different, over and over again, expecting a different result, and it never happens. That's crazy. So they're running by the liberal leftist progressive playbook. Never let a good crisis go to waste, and that's the case here going on in Congress, and it's unbelievable. And these people, they go in there and they screw the American people, and then they sleep like a baby every night. And I'm a little sick of the Democrats and the way that they've totally, partisan-shipped or partisanized or whatever you want to call it, this entire process. And for once, I feel that you could stand and defend the Republican Party justifiably, because they truly showed that they were doing their job to help their constituents in a national crisis. And what does the Democrats want to do? They want to add money for abortion clinics. So basically they're saying, screw you, constituent, you just lost your job and can't afford to make your rent to no fault of your own because of a pandemic. And you get nothing. But we're going to give the abortion clinics money. So what fresh hell is that? I mean, come on. I seriously think that people who vote Democrat need to really analyze that situation. And tell me, if you're out there and you vote Democrat, tell me if you can find something basically to play devil's advocate that the Republicans have done, which I'm sure it's out there, to put them in the situation that the Democrats are in now. Did they use a crisis for their benefit? If so, when? Let me know. Tell me the circumstances of it and the events that happened. I don't think you can find one, but I can be wrong. So don't vote Democrat, and even when you're dead, don't vote Democrat. And I say that because I've seen articles where they don't want the voter ID. They don't want voter ID, like show your license to vote. They don't want that stuff because they actually use dead people's names to vote, or people are voting 2 or 3 times. That went along. That was articles like that were coming out during the Obama administration. When people would say, yeah, I voted 2 or 3 times. And I mean, that's ridiculous. First of all, that's abusing your right. And my feel on that is if you abuse your right, I don't care if it's the Second Amendment, I don't care if it's First Amendment, I don't care, you should lose it. You abuse it, you lose it. I mean, that's the way it should be. Anyway, tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if you disagree, if you agree. Tell me if you can justify a position from the Democrat side on the Republicans. Just let me know. And I apologize for not putting out more videos. Get kind of tired and just in pain most of the day, and sometimes don't even want to deal with it. But I woke up from a nightmare this time, and I have PTSD, so I figured since I'm wide awake and I'm kind of bored watching TV, I'd get on and do a vlog for you, and we could talk about some stuff that's going on. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. Thanks.